This is the Global Broadcasting Service, serving remote outposts since 1928.
Hi, everyone. Welcome aboard the Walt Disney World Express monorail.
Caramba, we have something really big for you today.
Welcome, foolish mortals.
Now then, hang on to them hats and glasses, because this here's the wildest ride in the wilderness.
This is the DBC Pod with Phil Schoen and Jason Dodge. Hey everyone, welcome to this week's pod. This is the show for the week of December 11th, 2023. I have 5 days, Phil. 5 days until I go home. I'm excited. I'm actually looking forward to this 15-ish hour drive journey through the middle of the night. I have a couple things at work I need to clear, and then I'm going to start vacation on Wednesday, even though I'm working. Don't tell my boss. I don't think he listens to this podcast, but I've got to do like oil changes on the car, getting it all prepped up, getting the packages going, that packing going, and all that other type of stuff. But I'm ready to go, Phil. I'm ready to go. And we've got a lot to talk about on this show. Phil, what was your favorite thing that happened this week? Because it's everybody's favorite thing. This week.
I mean, it was an Epcot week, so of course it was a good week for Phil. So we talked about it a little bit last week because it was right before they were about to unveil the central part of World Celebration and Dreamers Point and stuff like that. And then they were also going to launch Luminous, the Symphony of Us, the new fireworks show at Walt Disney World at Epcot. And I guess the general reaction has overall been quite positive, I think.
Very positive.
Now some people are coming out and be like, oh, well, they used all that space and they could have put an attraction there, something like that. But I think what they did in World Celebration looks really cool, especially at night with all the lighting effects. And it's nice watching all this footage of people just kind of milling about and kind of hanging out. And it just seems like a cool place to chill. So yeah, I think that was overall pretty positive.
Yeah, I was watching Resort TV One's stream, like a lot of other people that night. And I know last week we talked about, am I going to spoil it? What am I going to? I spoiled everything. I was staring at that screen for hours.
I put that in the show notes. I was like, did you watch the whole thing, or did you just like watch some clips? Or
no,
but you watched the whole thing.
Yep. And I'm glad I did. And we'll talk about that once we get to the fireworks show. But about World Celebration, it's finally unveiled. And it looked pretty nice. I mean, there was no surprises during the day. Like, you saw people take videos and pictures of it. I think, like, right after our podcast went out, like, the media was in on Monday, taking a look at some stuff. It's the same pictures that Bio Reconstruct or anybody else took a shot from, like, the monorail, that type of thing. So there wasn't anything, like, amazing about it. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm glad people are walking through it. But then, as soon as dusk hits, the whole area turns like magical. Yeah. And it's absolutely phenomenal. So if you haven't seen it, go watch it. If you're trying to go spoil free, maybe skip ahead 10, 15 minutes on this on the show, because we're going to talk all about it. The one thing that really hit it off for me, and unfortunately, no one's really going to be able to see this during the summer because it requires nighttime for this to actually have an effect. But the combination of the music, all the lighting elements, like in the ground, in the bushes, in the trees, the spires that kind of fill up, and then they had like multiple like shows where it was like just the lights came on, and it Spaceship Earth kind of did some things, and then around like all the different like all the different shops and around the kind of everything kind of like came together. It was like a living, breathing area.
Yeah, it was like that area is all part of like when they do the Beacons of Magic shows on Spaceship Earth. The lighting effects around that area are part of it now. And it's kind of cool. Like the first one, which goes off at like 5:20 or 5:40 or whatever, but everybody's kind of like waiting there with their phones to take it. It reminds me a little bit of when out in California Adventure, when Cars Land, like the lights come on at night, everyone's kind of waiting for that moment. And they seem like similar to that. Like everyone's like waiting for all the lights to come on and kind of to go into phase 2 for the area for the evening. So.
No, it was the music was very good in World Celebration. Now, of course, the only thing that's not open is the Communicore building. That's kind of like in the 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock ish. If Spaceship Earth is 12, and I can get the feeling that this is kind of going to be like a really chill like party festival area in this thing. So, what do you think it's going to look like once that's open? Because there's going to be live music and there's going to be food. And go ahead.
I was going to say, yeah. So I think I fully agree that I think a lot of people are going to be hanging out. We know that the character meets are going to be in there, but there's also going to be indoor and outdoor live music there. They've already said even throughout the area, there's little nooks that they call, I think they're calling them activation alcoves because they have to give it a fancy name. But basically, that's where festival booths are going to go in future festivals. So, like, it's bringing the festivals into that area so people will be able to get their food and go to actual tables, not have to use garbage cans to eat it and stuff like that. So, I think it's going to be, especially in the evening when there's some like nice live music playing and people are eating like dinner and stuff, it's going to be a really cool area. And I think really popular for, obviously it's not for the families and stuff that are trying to like bang out a million attractions,
No,
but
no.
it's for like for locals or maybe adult groups, or even if if you have kids but you kind of need a break instead of maybe go back to the resort, you spend some time there or something like that. I think it's going to be a really valuable addition to the
What
experience at Epcot.
One of the things I really noticed, at least on the initial night, who knows how this changes, there's like tons of seating in here that I didn't even realize existed. There's like lounge chairs, there's
Yeah.
high tops, there's like benches, there's like picnic tables.
Yep.
And
And
they all
there's
did
some
such a
for it was pointed out by Julie that there's some like handicaps, like tables height for people in wheelchairs and stuff
Right.
like that. There's chargers all over the place and stuff like that. So
Yeah, I mean, I saw a guy just hanging out with like his laptop, like kind of like you would see guys hanging out at Starbucks, kind of
I know.
like.
I mean, if I was local and was working from home that day or something like that, be like, yeah, I'm gonna go out and work for a little bit. World
But like
celebration.
the big part of it is there's places to plug in and charge, one, and two, they did such a good job designing like the foliage and everything around it. Like there's like it's almost private little tiny areas where it kind of
Mm-hmm.
takes the hustle and bustle of people kind of going commando all around you. It's like this one little areas all over the place that you couldn't really get a sense of from like faraway pictures. Like
Right.
faraway pictures, you just saw a bunch of trees in some areas, but once you're there, like eye level with it, I thought it was absolutely phenomenal. And there was just a sense of like wonder about the whole place. Like it was like
Yeah.
a magical forest kind of thing with like lights and like it with the Epcot music behind it. It felt maybe magical is not the right word for Epcot, but it felt like tranquil and like
Yeah.
people were trying to poo-poo it by saying, "Oh, it looks like any other college campus or corporate park or whatever." I'm like, I've never been to a college
I know
campus, corporate park that looks like
you guys went to a cooler college than I did, or like your company's cooler than ours.
Yeah. So, what else did you think about the Dreamers Point Walt statue on the bench? Biggest complaint everybody had was it's off center, or whatever. But I love it. Like it, nobody sits dead perfect when they're just hanging out.
Right.
at a
And
park,
if you know, like with design, like putting things in threes or thirds is kind of like a more visually appealing way to do it. So he's a third of the way over. It's kind of like an artistic, like they did it on purpose. They didn't just like mess up putting him in the middle. And I think it looks nice. I think it's, people are like, before it's going to be on kind of like a little bit of a platform or something like that. But I think this looks more like appropriate or whatever. Like if Walt was there, like that's what he would do, right? He would sit there. And one thing I love that was pointed out, I think Tom on WNT pointed this out, that the map on the design on the bench behind him and it goes onto the ground in front of him is reminiscent of Progress City, like the actual city of Epcot that Walt designed. So it's kind of like he's sitting in the middle of his design, gazing out at like what actually became of his initial plans.
well, that's really cool. I definitely have to. I'm like as excited as I am to go on like Tron, which I haven't been to, and I'm more excited to just kind of hang out here at night. And I'm
I
so
know.
glad.
I bet you're excited. You have a couple Epcot days, right? Instead
That's
of
right.
just one. Yeah.
We have 2 nights, and I'm glad I'm going down during this time of year where it gets darker earlier, so we have more time in this section of the park. But I just want to like slow down and kind of do some of the nighttime stuff and just kind of meander around here without having to feel the pressure of anything, especially when you have no dinner scheduled or whatever at any of the nights. And then segueing over into Luminous, you can watch Luminous basically from anywhere around the lagoon. Now, you had 2 reactions to the show.
Yep.
You had the initial reaction when you watched the stream, and you were like, "I'll let you talk to yourself."
Yeah.
And then you had a completely different view of it, like the following day when you rewatched it. So take us through your journey.
Yeah. So the first time I watched it was a live stream, and I liked it. I thought it was good, but I wasn't kind of blown away by it. And it definitely hit me, was like, this is a show that I think might grow on me and I need to see in person but my initial take is like good, not great.
The middle of the road.
Yeah. The next day though, I kind of was like a little more dedicated. I think when we were watching, it was like family was around, kind of bothering me a little bit. I kind of took some time. It was just me, just watching it. Had found a better recording, versus just somebody kind of holding up their camera. And then it kind of hit me, and maybe it was just because now I know what to expect a little bit versus like kind of wondering what's coming, what's not coming. And I was really impressed by it. Really impressed by the timing and the syncing of all the lights and the lasers to the beats of the music and the like parts that kind of seem like heartbeats and stuff. And it's definitely not a perfect show. There's definitely tweaks I would make, but it's a really wonderful show. And I think the point from the Frozen song to the end, like, was really great in my mind. It ended really well. That second original song I really like. And I also really like the songs that they start playing in the area when the show is over. So overall, I'm even more excited now to get to see it in the spring. I'm very excited for you to get to see it. And I know friend of the show, Matt's down there now, and he's going to get to see it soon. So, and I definitely got the impression from people that were seeing it in person that it's definitely a show that's better in person than on video versus like Harmonious, which kind of translates okay to watching it because it's screens and stuff.
It was a spectacle, right?
Yeah. This, I think, is there's a lot of pyro and you're going to be kind of immersed in it when you're actually there versus watching it. So I'm very excited to see it in person. And I think they did a good show. And while I could see some tweaks in the future, I think this show could stick around for a bit in some form.
Yeah, I think this is probably Disney's, at least in North America, their most technically proficient show that they've ever done. Just to mention the types of pyro, the sequencing, the colors, the fountains with the lasers, it is a phenomenal show. I thought I was almost blown away. There was a couple detractions I had. Like I said, I watched it through a stream and then I watched it through a 4K video the next day. And my couple complaints are not real complaints because I'm waiting to see it in person. Is some of the audio was kind of messed up. There was like kind of like a duet type of song, and it comes across really bad through like a cell phone recording. And I need to be there to hear it. Maybe it's coming from different type of speakers, and it just sounds better in person. That's one thing.
Yeah, I agree. There's two songs where they really do it. One at the beginning, one at the end. And I think part of it is in different languages and stuff, but they're singing at the same time. And in the second song, it did clash a little bit to me, but again, it might be because we're listening it through speakers versus in person, and you're supposed to be hearing it from different places, and maybe it won't, it'll work better. I know Zach was there, and he said he loved that part. Like it came off really well. So hopefully it's one of those things that when you're there in person, it comes off better.
Yeah, so a couple other things I really, really liked. I loved how the different countries lit up when they were saying welcome, and there's that little I don't know, is it like a little secret or whatever? It's Walt's voice that says welcome towards the end of that little sequence.
Yeah.
I think we're supposed to get that, but I don't know how many people actually realize
that. I don't know, but it is Walt, and it's taken from his dedication of Disneyland speech.
Yep. And I think that's really cool. I like how Spaceship Earth is not really part of the show, so it doesn't force you to want to stand like in Japan or Morocco or somewhere.
There are some cool effects towards the end when it turns into a giant globe and stuff like that. So there might be a reason why you would want to watch it from Italy or something like that. But it's not like the main part of the show. Right. It's just like it's a nice little thing.
Like you could always go look at it, but there's some shots of that in perspective that looks kind of neat. But again, you can stand anywhere and watch this, which I really like because I don't like crowds and I don't like having to like camp out a spot.
Yeah, for sure.
For like 3 hours or 2 hours to get like to actually enjoy it. I want to also talk about which totally surprised me because I kind of when I watched the first thing, I had a lot of work to do and I wasn't really watching too much on social media for a day or two. And then apparently there's some new effects that were added to the show that didn't debut on the opening night. Do you have those details in your brain?
I didn't see that. I just saw more reports of 2 new effects that Disney had never used in other shows before. And one of them is that heart effect. And there's a couple things like that. So I took the meaning of that to say these are 2 new effects that Disney's never used before. Not that it was new in night 2. If there's another report
I thought I had read it that there's like a central tower that comes out of the center platform.
Yeah, that was there the first day too.
Was it? Maybe this is why I shouldn't be watching a video commenting on it. But I could have sworn that effect looked slightly different when they took that when there was anyway. There's some really cool effects in there. I want to talk about more than if I'm completely wrong on that. There's no need to talk about it then again. The public reaction, which is really interesting.
Yep.
Almost exclusively the people that saw it in person, I think 9 out of 10 loved it.
Yeah.
Or at least thought it was a good show that's going to be here for a while, right? And they had no complaints. The only complaints that they had was it wasn't Illuminations. They were like OG Epcot Illumination stands that just like nothing can hold a candle, like other people with like Happily Ever After type stuff.
Yeah.
So everybody's worth their opinion, but the funny thing is, like, you go on WDW Magic forums and there's people that are just like curmudgeons about everything that Disney does. Like, they're just super duper negative. And it's a good show when they're like, I saw it in person and it's no Illuminations, but I think they did a good job. And I'm like, oh, something positive.
Yeah, they're kind of like, I think it's the best we can like hope for in 2023 under this management or something like that. Which, to your point, they're like, unless there's no IP in it and it's Illuminations, they're gonna poo it to some extent. But yeah, even so there were a couple of people that just flat out were like hated it, but I think they would have hated anything. But for the most part, it was pretty positive. Yeah.
No, 100%. I did like you mentioned, I like the original music. The only thing I would have done differently, well, it's a major change to the show that I would have done differently, but I appreciate the direction they went. It's a very solemn and like joyous type of progression of story, right? It's the life cycle, it's loss, it's accepting grief and moving on and that type of thing. It's a story everybody goes through, and I understand why they took it. I would like sometime in the far future, them to develop a show that's about like celebration that gets you dancing in each of the countries as you're watching it, like just a joyous celebration of life and everything else, but not like, you go through birth and love and death. And like, that's the only thing I don't like. Like, why are you reminding people of their like ultimate demise?
Yeah. I'm always like torn of that one. And yeah, I guess the idea isn't necessarily that you died, but that somebody you cared about died. And so that now you were, performing music with somebody and now you're not. I mean, I think that is part of Disney. Walt always said that, it's okay for kids to like get scared and see, like that's part of feeling. So, and especially in Epcot, which is a little more serious of a park or whatever, I think it fits. But I do get that point where it's like, and that was something other people were saying too. It's like, really, we got to think about like, and of course, that's where the narration kind of was a little heavy-handed. It was almost like, okay, this is the sad part. You will now cry as we play Jesse's song.
I didn't mind the narration, by the way. I mean, a lot of people.
I thought it was a little heavy-handed and it was just more than it needed to be. Like, you didn't need to spell out every single thing. I think if they scaled it back, it would have worked really well. But I also didn't hate it like some people seem to like despise it.
I like a lot of narration in this because I like a story, right? It doesn't have to be just all music and like tell a story through like Disney, you're a friend to me. Like I don't need like the lyrics of songs that I know telling me, like, I have to figure, like, I don't want to puzzle when I'm watching this. I want to turn off my brain, watch the spectacle and be happy, cry, or whatever emotion that I'm trying to, you want us to feel. I like a story being told to me during the show. And I don't mind the heavy-handed stuff and where you can take a break. You have a pleasant voice telling me the story. I mean, like, I like it, right? I mean, I know a lot of people like, Reflections of Earth, and it's just like, it's all music and it's all original, and it's just a globe that floats around all over the place, and everybody's going to love it because that's what they grew up, because it was been around for 50 years.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I like the narration. I'm not going to, it doesn't detract from the show for me, in my point of view, but that was another point of contention for a lot of people. Maybe not contention, but a nitpick, I guess.
Yeah. There were definitely some picks nits that were being picked, but I think if that's the level of detail people are getting at, I think overall Disney succeeded.
No, 100%. So overall, Phil, Epcot's been under construction for 100 years now. We now have, and it still is a little bit.
Yeah.
We got to move on because we have a whole prediction night tonight.
Yep.
But overall, on a scale of, I don't know, 1 to 10, what do you give these additions to Epcot from your couch at home before you actually see it in person?
Yeah, I was gonna say, from a couch at home, kind of judging that on a curve, I'll probably give it like a 7 or 8, and then I'm expecting that to probably go up. when I see it in person. But because I think some of these elements you can't really feel from your couch, but I think, for what it was and what we knew it was going to be, I think they delivered at a very high level.
There's really no fireworks show that's going to get me to book a trip to Disney World. So a fireworks show is going to be great. It's a really good cap to the day, but it's not something I'm going to be like, oh, this is amazing. Or if it's not a great show, it's not going to ruin my day either.
Right.
And the only show that I've seen that's really gets me happy is Happily Ever After. That being said, the World Celebration changes at night and all that other stuff to get me to be super stoked to be down there. Like I said before, I'm definitely at an 8, and that's probably going to you're probably going to hear me going like 9.5, unless like all the lights are broken the night that I'm there. It just doesn't turn.
No, I get what you're saying. Like, as cool as this is, this probably aren't, this isn't Guardians or Tron or something, this isn't, or Galaxy's Edge that are going to get people to book new trips. But I could see more people being like you, that we got 7 park days. We were only going to do 1 Epcot day. Maybe we'll do 2 Epcot days, that type of thing. So I could definitely see that, which is definitely what they want. They want more people going to Epcot and hopping to Epcot and stuff like that.
Oh, hoppers for sure. Like spend the day and then just going to go relax at night. This is that. I really wish Epcot would just stay open later throughout the day, and potentially if the celebration or the Communicore building and everything else like opens up and more people want to go, maybe they do creep those hours up if people are spending money, right? So here's to hoping. All right. So just a reminder for social media, we're at the DBC Pod everywhere: Twitter, X, Threads, where else? Facebook, and then Instagram. And then make sure you hop on our Discord channel and our server and check out all the conversation that's going on there. I was going to have a segment here talking about my 5 days to prep, but just a little reminder on the schedule going forward. This is going out on a Monday, and then we potentially might record like a pre-trip episode, maybe like Thursday night, which might be a little bit short one, 24 hours before I go. And then that'll go out next week. And then we're probably taking a week off for Christmas because I won't get back until the day before Christmas Eve. And we're going to spend time with our family in Christmas. So we're not going to do that. And then we're going to go into the, 6-part miniseries trip report. And then we're going to start the new year. We have some new plans for the new year about how we're kind of reframing the show. More about that later. But like we mentioned last week, this is the year in review episode. We're now 20 minutes in, so hopefully we can crank this one out. So we're gonna split this into 2 different parts. The game today is gonna be Phil reading the predictions from last year. I don't know if you want to go through all of them or some of them. I'll let you do it. I'm gonna try to guess what we said it was, and then we're kind of gonna go over what we said and how we did on some things. So Phil, why don't you?
Yep.
So
my plan is to go through as quick as I can, and then if we're running long, I'll start skipping around. But
great.
So we started off with a section on nighttime spectaculars because we knew there was going to be a lot changing in 2023. So the first one was, how close to the original version of Happily Ever After do you think the returning version will be, and when will it return?
Oh gosh, I think we guessed that it was going to return later in the year. And almost identical. I think that's what we said.
Yep. So we both said extremely close. I said there might be 1 or 2 big changes. You were a little more pessimistic. You said October. I actually said April, and it came back on April 3rd. So I actually got that one right. Yeah. The next one was, will Epcot Forever return post-Harmonious before the new show comes, or will they switch right over to it?
I think we said that we're going to get Epcot Forever in there, right?
So according to my notes, I said that we would get Epcot Forever, and you said no filler show, that they would go right from.
I was so wrong.
Yeah.
Man, I'm over 2 on this one.
What month will the Harmonious barges be removed?
I don't even remember what month they were removed in here. Didn't I say closer to the end of the summer or fall?
No, you were actually spot on. You said May, and May 17th was the day they were all gone.
So was I actually thinking that we were going to get the new show for?
I think that's what you probably thought. Yeah.
Man, I don't even know what I was thinking. No one listened to me. Man. Okay.
Will Animal Kingdom get a nighttime show?
I had to have said no on that one.
Yeah, we both said no. Actually, we both said it will get one, but not in 2023. And as of now, I mean, we're correct. There's none in 2020, but there's also none in the pipeline. So we'll see.
But we didn't put a year on that, right? So they could get one in 10 years from now.
We got that right. Yeah. Will drones be used in any nighttime show in 2023?
Didn't I say yes?
You said yes. I said no. Obviously, the answer is no.
Wrong.
Although, unless you want to count Paris, but I don't think we were thinking that.
That's true.
Will there be any new parties or festivals announced?
I think I said yes.
You said they would be announced but not started. I said yes, there would be more hard ticket events, and at the very least, we can count Jollywood as a new event that they had.
So I was half right.
Yeah.
You were completely right, I think.
All right, moving on to attractions. When did we say that Journey of Water would open?
I was always saying for your trip in August, right?
You were very optimistic that it would be open for my trip. Yeah.
You got in there you were close, right?
Yeah.
I was a couple of weeks off.
Yeah. So you said September. I said October. October 16th was the official opening date, but they were starting previews in like July or August. So I think we both kind of got that one right.
Did they really open in October? I could have sworn.
Yeah.
It was
October
like
16th was the formal. Yeah.
Okay.
Will there be any changes to Flight of Passage announced?
I don't remember saying yes to this because
we both said they will definitely be announced that there will be changes to Flight of Passage. I think it was around that time was when Way of Water was coming out, and he was talking about how they were going to put a new like film in there for the new movie and stuff. So we thought that was going to happen, but nothing.
We were very optimistic about Disney's state of I don't know, money flow, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
This was the year of paying everything off, I guess.
Yeah. We said, will there be any changes for Animal Kingdom announced?
I said yes, right? We all were thinking yes.
Yeah,
but...
you said we both said definitely new changes would be announced, and we both said more than Blue Sky, and I think we just got Blue Sky, so we were wrong.
We got Blue Skied.
We said, will Epcot be complete by the end of 2023?
Oh, we're so close. And we both said yes, didn't we?
So I actually said no, but mostly done. So I think I got that pretty spot on. You said yes, and construction walls would be down in November.
Oh,
so
okay.
You were close, but it was December 5th. Yeah.
It was close. Okay.
Will there be any announcements about Hollywood Studios?
I don't remember talking about this one, so I can't even guess. I would say no.
Yeah, we both said no, and there was nothing.
Yeah.
And then the last one for this is, will we see any more news about the additions to the Magic Kingdom?
Oh. We probably said no.
Correct.
Yeah, but we did. We got Blue Sky, but like I think that's more solid than Blue Sky, maybe.
Well, actually, this year they didn't really say. They just basically said, "Yeah, we're still working on it."
Yeah,
like they didn't really give us anything new though. So I don't know. I think we got that one right.
Yeah. Okay.
I guess. Then the last section, just some miscellaneous things. Excuse me. When will the trams return to Epcot and Hollywood Studios?
We must have said like this summer or something else like that, right?
We both said for the summer, thinking like for the hottest months they should have the trams back.
And they did not.
They did not. They announced it in August, and they returned September 20th.
Perfect.
We said, will the dining plan return, and if so, what form will it take?
Oh, I think we have to have said it would return, but I don't know what form. I don't remember. I can't remember.
Yeah. So we both said yes, it would return, which they've announced it will return. It hasn't actually come back yet. You said it will be similar, but with more options for like customizing. And I said it would be more different, that might be more like with credits or something like that. So I think you got that one, since we know it's coming back as basically the exact same as it was, just more expensive.
Thing, but just less.
Yeah. It's
cheaper for kids. Let's
true.
Give them credit for that. But it's a lot more expensive for adults.
Yep. This one, we were like way optimistic on this one. What new functionality beyond Journey of Water will be announced for Magic Band Plus?
Oh, like nothing.
Right. We both were like, oh, there'd be more haptic things going on and more things, blah, blah. Meanwhile, there's nothing new. And even though they said it was going to happen for Journey of Water, it didn't happen for Journey of Water. So
I think they're going to slowly start adding that stuff in when I mean, like, well, maybe we'll talk about this for 2024. Okay, keep going. Sorry.
Yep. Will there be adjustments to the park reservation system?
We said yes, but they didn't come in yet, though. So.
Right. We both said yes. And I actually was pretty spot on, because I said day tickets will include your reservation, so you won't have to if you're a day ticket, but pass holders will still need to make reservations. And that's pretty much exactly what they're going to, but it's not going into effect until January 9th.
Solid. Yep.
Excuse me. Will the parks be as crowded, or will we start to see more promotions to help fill empty parks?
I think we said yes with this, didn't we? I hope we did.
So we said
it would be less crowded.
So we said it would probably either kind of stay the same, not really slacking off, but I think we did see some slack off, at least in the beginning part of this year.
Yeah, I mean that's another interesting conversation. Like, we hold Len Testa above everybody else with all his data analytics and stuff like that, and he said like 10 to 15%. But there were some things out there that it was only like maybe like a 5% dip.
Yeah, so I mean, not to go too off in a tangent, but he said from his data that they were using based on kind of their reported attraction wait times, they were estimating about 15% down. But based off of information that's actually come out, he's basically said that can't be right, and we need to go back and kind of figure out how we're calculating this. So.
Yeah. I appreciate his ability to say, "Well, no, we're wrong, but we'll fix it." Moving on.
The last two ones were: will there be any Skyliner announcements?
I have to have said no on this one.
Yeah, we both said no. I think I was hopeful that maybe something for Animal Kingdom, but no, obviously no. Dang. And will GD Plus remain the same throughout the year?
Phil needs some water there. Okay. Well, Genie Plus, I think we had said like, yes, we're going to get some changes to Genie Plus because I think they were like imminent because wasn't like when Iger got back, there was like some talk of like making things better for the guest. And
I think that was after we did these.
Did that come after?
I think so. But in any event, we both said nothing big, but there might be some benefits for on-site guests announced. Obviously, this year, nothing really changed. However, they have said they will be changing it coming in 2024, but we don't have any further details beyond that.
Yeah, there's lots of rumors out there that are probably baseless and from a bus driver somewhere.
Exactly.
Is that it?
That was it.
Okay. Well, we were, you know what? I love our optimism.
We're a little bit more optimistic, especially about Animal Kingdom, I think. But otherwise we weren't too bad, I think.
We're optimistic, but we're not bad like Matt level of optimism. Like Matt always predicts like we're definitely getting a new park and all the tickets are going to be for free. Matt's right there right now. He's not going to be listening to this podcast, so he can't get angry at me at Discord for at least another week and a half. All right, let's go to our 2024 predictions. I took some time and I wrote down a whole bunch of different questions here. I don't know how we're going to get through all of these, but we got plenty of time, so I think we can do this correctly. Phil, would you want to be the master of ceremonies here, or would you like me to go through these? I'll give you the choice.
Why don't you go through these since you put it together, and then I had done the 2023 ones.
Okay, very good. Do you want me to take notes on these as we go through?
Yeah.
All right. So the first section is going to be movies because this is more about Disney overall, just not Disney in the parks. So in the movies, we've got on the docket for next year, Deadpool 3, Planet of the Apes, Inside Out 2, Mufasa, Captain America, new Alien movie apparently, Thunderbolts, and on Disney Plus were movies that are going to come that are pretty big, or The Marvels and Wish. And there's another movie, Amateur, that's coming out from one of their other studios.
Yeah.
I'm just not familiar with it. So my first question to you or to us, Phil, will the MCU recover? And when I talk about recover, I'm meaning just doing like a baseline solid number, not like tanking like the Marvels, or like I'm thinking like I'll say like Ant-Man 3 had a pretty decent number. Guardians of the Galaxy 3 did fairly well in the box office. It's like somewhere in between Ant-Man and Guardians of the Galaxy. That's my recover, right? Doesn't have to be $1 billion movie.
I think it will. I think by towards the end of the year, the narrative and kind of the feelings towards the MCU will be more positive, and it'll be trending in the right direction.
I'm going to agree with you only because there's not a lot of movies out there for this to be like the Marvels. Like, even though the original Marvel did like $1 billion, like no one was excited to see the Marvels in the movie theaters, right? And as much as everybody wanted Ant-Man to be good, Ant-Man was never a really high-grossing film to begin with. He was always a side character. So that kind of fell through the cracks. Guardians of the Galaxy did great this year, too. So there's still room for good stories to come out. And so I'm going to say yes, only because you've got Deadpool 3. That's going to be killer in the movie theaters. Especially with Wolverine and everybody else going to be in it. That's going to like take the box office by storm. I don't know if it's going to be $1 billion movie, but it's because it's rated R. But I think it's going to be probably in the, if I had to guess, like $600-800 million range.
Yeah,
in box
I was
office
thinking around 800. Yeah.
Yep. Planet of the Apes looks really cool. I think that's going to make some money depending on what their budget is. I think it's going to be fairly successful, but it's not going to be like a major theatrical like hit. But I don't know why I'm talking about Planet of the Apes with MCU. That's not part
Yeah.
of the MCU.
Yeah, I mean, just my thought. I think Deadpool 3 is probably going to do the best of the movies.
Yes.
I think that people are really looking forward to that. It's just different than kind of the standard MCU, so I think that'll do 800. Maybe catches fire and does a billion, but I'm targeting like 800. I think Captain America might
That's not
struggle a
gonna do
little
well.
bit. Yeah,
that's
I
gonna
think just
struggle.
people are just not gravitating. I mean, maybe it'll turn out to be a great movie or something like that, but I'm worried about that one. But I think when we start seeing that trend switch, it's going to be with Thunderbolts. I think that'll do
Yes.
surprisingly well.
I think Thunderbolts is going to be the next group comic book movie. It's not the Avengers, it's the Thunderbolts. We're going to see a bunch of characters come together. It's going to be finally a continuation of the news stories that they've been telling in Phase 4. This should have come out like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, Captain America is not going to do well, just because I don't think anybody likes the new Captain America, and I don't think it's a racial thing or anything else like that. I just think like that's a new Captain America. We want our old Captain America.
Yeah, it's just to say it's big shoes to fill is like an understatement. So I think it has potential to be a good movie and people may like it. I just don't think it's something that everybody's going to flock to the theaters for and that sort of thing.
And the next thing is, will Disney movies have a bigger year, meaning all the Disney movies? Will we see any of these movies that I listed before have $1 billion? So that
I don't know if we'll get to $1 billion. We know only 2 movies this year got to $1 billion, or maybe 3 if Oppenheimer did. I think Deadpool 3 probably has the best chance, but I think they'll all fall short. I don't think we'll get $1 billion.
Okay, so Phil, you're saying no 1B, but do you think the movies overall are going to perform better than the 20?
I think so. Yeah, I mean, I think there were a lot that just like really underperformed, and I think overall things will do better, but not $1 billion.
Will The Wish and the Marvels be big hits on Disney Plus? Are they going to drive subscriptions? Or let me phrase this: will we see them on the Nielsen charts for streaming?
Wish we will. Because I know a lot of people that talked about like they're interested in seeing it, but they're not going to pay to take the whole family. So I think Wish will, but not Marvels.
I agree with you. I'm on the same prediction.
Even though Marvels was fun, I liked it, and I think it'll do okay. Like maybe the first week it comes out, you'll see it on the list, but it's not going to be like a huge thing.
Yep. All right. So moving on to TV, we've got a couple things. I might have left a couple things out here, but on TV, I'm only talking about Disney Plus. We've got Echo and Agatha. I think Agatha's coming out next year, right?
It's supposed to. I mean, with the strike and stuff like that, some stuff might get pushed back.
So
but
those are the two.
Yeah.
Those are the 2 MCU movies. We've got X-Men 97, and then we got 2 Star Wars shows, The Acolyte and Skeleton Crew, which I just was on Reddit and I saw like some really poor leaks about Skeleton Crew. So I don't know where that's going. Just pictures that just like, what are they doing here? There's always been delays. Acolyte looks interesting. So questions about Disney Plus overall. Will Disney Plus hit the profitable target that they were always looking for, Phil?
I don't think it's going to be profitable in 2024.
Still in the red.
I mean, I think it'll be close, but still in the red.
Okay, I not for the year, but for a quarter. Will we see? I think it will. Just to make so I'm not writing the same for every one of these things. I think it will be profitable. I don't think it's going to be like bonkers making money, but I think the losing of money will stop sometime this year. So this year, Phil, will Disney Plus gain subscribers? Will it continue to grow or will it contract? Because now we've got potential Hulu integration. I don't know how that counts towards anything, but for Disney Plus core subscribers, I'm not talking about Hostar and all the Indian subscribers and all this stuff. Core subscribers that are paying, $1,000 a month for this.
I think it will. I think they'll find different ways to attract new people, whether it's merging with things or new plans or something. I think it will.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think they're trending in the right direction. They're setting like kind of all the back end stuff, getting the model basically solidified, just kind of like similar to Netflix, so they don't have all these different arms and products all over the place. Next question is: will Hulu and Disney Plus see full integration in 2024, or will it still be in beta test?
I think it will.
I think so as well. Right now, it's just a bundle, which is kind of like it, but not. Side note: I accidentally renewed my annual subscription. I forgot. I changed my. I didn't update my credit card on purpose, so I wouldn't get the subscription full annual. But you have to cancel it first. So it's like, oh, you already have now the annual. You just have to pay for it. And I couldn't get the Hulu bundle, which really
Oh,
aggravated me. So I got to wait till November of next year.
yeah. I think you
to
could
get it.
call. I probably need to do that if I want to think about it, because it would be nice if they made that a little easier to kind of modify your
awful.
plans and stuff.
I'm waiting for like the full integration, and maybe then you can kind of upgrade
Yeah.
it or do something. Maybe there'll be some deals. Okay, so after a mixed review of Star Wars on Disney Plus, where Ahsoka kind of fell kind of lackluster on the audience as a whole, but Mandalorian being slightly better than what people are expecting and kind of moderately, it was enjoyed by most people. Will we see Star Wars be more positive this year in audience reaction?
So in general audience reaction, I think no. I don't think it's going to be like this big swarm of getting the collective, group. I do think the hardcore fans are really going to like the Acolyte. So I think from like a ratings or like review perspective, it'll be viewed as high quality, but I don't think it's going to like draw in tons of people.
I don't think any Star Wars is going to be good this year. I think Skeleton Crew is probably going to be awful. I don't think the Acolyte's going to be any good. I think they're going to try too hard to make it like really cool, and then it's just going to be like another Ahsoka where it's just like fan fiction, just with a $200 million budget.
Yeah. All right.
Which is unfortunate because the not source material, but the idea behind it is really, really cool. So I'm looking forward to it tremendously. I'm just preparing myself to be disappointed by it.
I'm trying to be optimistic on that one, I guess.
That's good. That's good. I'm completely burned out by Star Wars and my expectations. All right, what about the MCU? Again, Echo and Agatha. Will they be seen positive after kind of a flat 2023 with Secret Invasion kind of going and Loki kind of bringing that up back to average? What do you think?
No, I think it'll kind of be the same. Yeah.
I don't think anybody's looking forward to Echo. I don't know why that's being made, and there's a lot of rumors that it was just bad in production. And Agatha's been. We've been waiting too long for Agatha. A lot too much has happened, and at this point,
She was like a fun side character, and if this was like a special coming out, 6 months after WandaVision,
or a
it'd
year,
be great. Yeah,
even a year. But no, I don't think so. So that'll do it for TV and movies. We're gonna move on to the parks. So we're gonna get attendance figures whenever they come out for 2023. How much? I'm assuming we all agree that 2023 was down in attendance from 2022.
Yep.
Phil, I'm going to ask you a percentage. How much it was down
For the four parks overall?
All parks combined.
I'll say down 4%.
4%. Should I go with like $1? Just the price is right, just to get this right. I think it's going to be a little bit bumpier up. I'm going to say around 6% dip. I know that's kind of mincing words here. It's a couple points, but I think it's something to guess.
Well, when you're talking about millions of people, that matters.
That's a lot of people. That's true. In 2024, will we see an increase in attendance? So is 2023 the local in time low point? Are we bouncing back upwards at this point? What do you think?
I don't see it. Yeah, the first thing that came to mind was flattish. I don't, maybe it'll be slightly up or slightly down, but I don't see a big rebound.
Okay, so in order to get credit for this win, Phil,
I'll say plus or minus 1%.
Okay, so there's going to be about basically a 2% pocket where you say it's going to hit there. Okay, plus or minus. I'm going to actually rate plus and minus 1%. I think we're going to see an increase in attendance, but not major. I think we're going to get back to 2022 numbers, roughly. That's my guess, only because I think they're going to come up with some juicy discounts to get people. I think that the ticket discount. I mean, this is another question for later on with discounts. I think we'll see some interesting discounts. Just kind of start filling up the parks again now that they've got. They need to get people in the parks before Epic Universe opens in 2025. I think that'll be a motivator. Outside of Tiana, will we see any general additions? And this can be minor things, but outside of Tiana, will we see anything else being added to the parks?
I think there'll be one or two small things. The one thing that comes to mind is maybe the update to the Country Bears something like that, but nothing
Nothing major.
nothing major.
I don't think so. I don't think we'll get anything other than what was already announced or teased about. Like I don't know if Country Pairs counts because that's already announced, but I don't think we'll get any other things. If anything, I don't know if what would count if it's like we're opening up a new large, snack stand somewhere or something. I don't think that really counts to something.
No,
Like
it's
that.
gonna be.
Will we see any changes to unused spaces, kind of like Stitch and Magic Kingdom, Mermaid and Hollywood Studios? Will we see them using any of that space? It could be like a temporary thing. It could be like a pop-up thing. It could be a thing for a party. But will we start using those empty spaces again?
I mean, I don't think they'll use Stitch more than they already are, which is a meet and greet and trick or treat lane and stuff like that. I don't think they'll use Mermaid because there's still rumors of mold and stuff there.
Right.
I don't think they'll do anything with the play pavilion. So
that was going to be my third one. Sure.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. Transportation additions or subtractions. We're going to lump both together just to kind of keep this brief. Will we see anything added to this list? And my thing would be MDE coming back, or maybe we're talking about this in discounts also. But do we see anything transportation related announced at Walt Disney World?
No,
I
don't think so.
But I mean, you got to lump D23 into this too.
Right. Well, I mean, things could maybe be announced, but
that's my okay. So maybe announcements won't count then. Oh, that's fine. Fair enough. That makes sense. Will there be more positive feeling around the guests and for the company similar to now? Like right now, we've gotten basically it's probably going to take Iger 1 or 2 years to dig out the the mold, the off coloring, the distaste of the Chapek years and COVID, to kind of get right the ship. Like you can't steer the Disney company something like this big and change it that quickly without impacting the bottom line tremendously. Because of that slow uptick, hopefully, will we see this time next year? Will people be more positive? Will the ratio of happy post to grumpy posts on social media and forums around be changed for the better?
I think yes. I'm trying to be optimistic. I think just with some of the changes they're going to try to make having a trip be easier. Like you said, I think there'll be some more discounts to make it a little bit more affordable for families. And so I think that feeling when you're at a party with a bunch of other families and somebody's like, "Oh, hey, we're thinking about going to Disney." Other people will be reacting more positively than they are right now.
Bonus question: will the phrase "nickel and diming" still be part of the lexicon when talking about a Disney vacation?
Yes, but less so.
I think no, because I think they're going to do some good things with Genie Plus, but we'll talk about that later. All right, on to the Genie Plus changes. This is a long prediction list, so I'm going to go a little bit faster here. When will we see the changes, and when will the changes be announced? So, let's reverse this. Announcements when, and when do they go into effect?
I don't know. I kind of thought that they would have been announced by now. So the fact that they're not, I think they'll be announced in January and go into effect in March.
All right.
I think it's sooner rather than later, but I don't think it'll be starting in January yet.
I think they will be announced in January, and I think they will go into effect almost immediately.
Okay.
And I think actually, let me rephrase that. When I say immediately, I'm thinking you can book things in advance and stuff like that. I don't think you can start. I think they're going to give a 30-day run up to let's say pre-booking lightning lanes. But I think you're going to start being able to book Genie Plus on your packages and stuff like that starting immediately as soon as the announcement starts sitting around. So maybe half in, half out. How many tiers will there be per park? Are we still going with 1 or 2 tiers, the top and the rest?
Yeah, well, I think there'll be the individual lightning lanes and then 2 tiers of Genie Plus. I'm hopeful they don't have it for Animal Kingdom because I don't think Animal Kingdom can handle it. But I think everybody's going to. I think it's going to have 2 tiers.
We'll have a whole show.
Yeah.
Moaning and crying about all this stuff. Will tiers affect individual lane selections at all?
No, I think I mean, I don't know if you have this as a separate question. The big individual lightning lane question I have is what happens in Magic Kingdom when Tiana's opens. But
I don't have Tiana's, but I do have a similar question we could talk about later.
okay,
No,
but I don't think
no.
tiers will affect it.
Will Genie Plus be cheaper in 2024? Not counting like normal dollar here or whatever price increases because of inflation, that type of thing.
I think it'll be roughly the same, and maybe there'll be some savings if you'll add it for your whole package like they did before or something like that. But it'll be roughly the same price. We're not going to see a drastic increase or a drastic decrease.
I think it'll be cheaper only because I think if you pre-book it through like part of your package, they'll give you a cheaper cost to it. But I think individually day to day, it will be roughly the same within its the normal band of expensive to cheap that it is now. I don't think they're going crazy with that at all. Okay, if you had to guess, when is the pre-selection day starting? Right, so you get to pre-book your lightning lanes.
I think
a week out. 60 days?
think it's a week out.
Bill, you're doing 7. I'm going. I don't like 7. If I had to guess, I'm probably going to go with you, but I'm going to go 2 weeks. Because the only reason why I don't like 7, and again, we're gonna have a whole show complaining about this anyway, is like right now I'm in the 7-day mark. I don't want to start like I got packing. I got to prepare for my.
Oh no, I don't like 7 either. I definitely would prefer 2 weeks, but I think it's going to be 7.
Okay. I hope it's not like a week before and you're already bugging out about like. I think you need a buffer zone of like you're already getting excited and hyped up and then nervous about packing everything and getting everything going. And sometimes people leave a couple days before going to Disney World. I don't think they need to be worrying about like what lightning lanes to book for a 7-day trip. But hopefully Disney agrees with me and we're not cynical and it's a week like you're predicting here.
Yep.
How many selections can you pre-book? Is it going to be 3 like Fast Pass or is it going to be?
I think it's going to be 3.
Whatever?
It's basically going to be paid Fast Pass plus. Again, I hope it's 1. I hope you're right, but I think it's going to be 3.
I think it's going to be 3 too, but I'm going to be contrarian and say 1. So I'll just so we have something different for these answers. And will you be able to pre-purchase Genie Plus with a package like you were prior to like a year?
I definitely think so.
Yeah, I do too. All right, a couple questions about Tiana's. When will Tiana's open in Walt Disney World? Just give me a month, and if you don't want to give me a month, give me a season.
I'll say July.
I am sticking with my original guess with Memorial Day. I think they want to kick the summer season off with that opening. And if you haven't seen some of the really good pictures of it currently, it's looking really good outside. And I'm going to skip ahead a couple questions here. When will the walls outside come down? And I'm only talking about they finished the construction of the outside. Obviously, they're still doing work internally, but they've taken the walls down, the scrims down, stuff like that.
Like the scaffolding and stuff like that.
Everything, right. So this is 2 questions. Will it come down before the ride is open? And if so, when?
See, I think like scaffolding and stuff like that will be down, but there'll always be like some walls until they're like doing previews and stuff like that. So but I think the bulk of it'll come down in March.
So I think that's roughly right. I'm going to go with 1 month later in April. And basically the only walls that are going to be up are going to be like by the train station around the queue, disallowing people to get in there. But I think you will be able to see. I think they want that area of the park to be open and lush. It looks really nice. Yeah. And I don't think they want all those walls up anymore. I think they're like, we've had Epcot walls forever. This is a meme now. They want to get rid of the walls ASAP, and that's why I'm asking this question.
Gotcha.
What do you think the initial reaction will be? So on a Disney scale of 1 to 5, 5 being like, this is the most amazing ride ever, and 1 being like, this is terrible. Why did they do this? We should have kept Splash.
I will say if we take out the people that are just never going to be happy with it because they didn't want general audience, I think I think it's actually going to be quite well received. I'm going to give it a 4.
4. I think it's going to be a 5. I think they're going to blow this out of the park, and it's just going to be because if you weren't like an OG Splash, fanatic person, right? You went to the parks and you liked the ride because it was a fun, actual physical ride to go on with the drops and everything else. And it had some fun music and some scenery. but no one knew what was going on there. We had our friend Mike back, I don't know, was it a year or so ago?
Yeah.
That's like, I don't know what's going on here, but like, it's fun. So I think they're going to have recognizable characters, recognizable music. It's going to look fresh coat of paint. It's going to look brand new. I think they're going to, hit this one out of the park, I think, in my opinion. How many animatronics? This is kind of a mean question. Not that we're going to be counting.
I'm sure
I don't want
somebody
you to
will.
give me a number, but give me some, maybe some, a little bit, or a little bit, some being not as many as Splash, or a lot being as many or more than Splash.
So I would say, I mean, based on that, I would say some, because I think there's going to be slightly fewer than Splash had, but you'll have some better ones.
Okay.
So, but I think it'll be close to Splash. It's not going to be like, oh, there's 8 really good ones and kind of like nothing else and just a handful of others. I think there'll be quite a few, but not quite as many as Splash.
I agree, and I think this is going to be a bone contention. There's going to be somebody that goes around counting all of them and say, "Oh, there's less animatronics than Splash." Disney cheaped out and all this other stuff. Meanwhile, half the animatronics on Splash were just like one actuator that moved like a rabbit.
If they moved.
Yeah, exactly. How many screens will we see in this? Is it going to be? Let's put it this way. I keep asking for a number. I'm not asking for a number. Is it going to be considered screen heavy, or screen light, or no screens?
I think it'll be screen light. There's definitely going to be some, but they'll be complementary. Almost like, I don't know if this is a good comparison, but like on Navi River, how there's screens, but like I think it'll be kind of like that.
Yeah, I'm unfortunately disagreeing with you. This is a prediction show. All right, I have a bunch of questions for each park. We're going to do these really quick. Fear Phil. Will Tron go on standby, yes or no?
No.
This year? No.
No.
I don't think so either. Will we see any kind of construction in Magic Kingdom outside of Tiana's where other walls have to go up? And I'm not counting like we have to fix the moat around the palace.
I don't think anything big in Magic Kingdom next year. No.
Doesn't have to be big, but it has to be walls somewhere else other than around the castle for construction.
I mean, beyond just repairs and stuff. Like,
yes.
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so either. Will Magic Kingdom remain a double individual lightning park?
At least.
Just to like score some more points over you potentially, I'm going to say that when the tiering comes out, Mine Train and Tiana's opens, Mine Train will drop to a tier 1 attraction for lightning lanes.
Right, but then it'll still be a double IL, right?
Darn it, you're right. That's a terribly worded question. But, okay. It won't be yes, it will be a double.
Will it be a triple? Yeah.
That would be the better answer. Okay, yes. Yes, not a triple with Tiana's. And we both agree that Mine Train is going to be dropped?
If I had to bet, I would say yes, but I'm not sold on that. They might stick with 3.
Oh, you think it'll be a triple?
I think they might, yeah.
Oh, so you want to change your answer?
I'll change mine to a triple. I think they'll go triple.
That would be the tears of people screaming in anguish around the internet will be amazing. Any more new ticketed parties or ticket events outside of Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party and the Halloween party?
I'll go optimistic here. I think they know this brings in money. People like them, especially in the summer. I'll say yes in the summer or something.
Yeah, I agree. I think it'll be like one of those villains nights or something else like that, where it's not going to be like a huge production, but it's going to be a hard ticketed event.
Yeah.
I had this question in here, but I think I know your answer. Anything new we're going to move on to Epcot. Anything new in Epcot in 2024? No. I'm going to go with no.
Nope.
Communicore doesn't count. Will Guardians go standby in 2024?
I think Guardians will.
I think it will also. Do we want to guess a month?
I'll say Memorial Day.
Yes, but I'm going to go a bit later. I'm going to go July. But yes, summertime. I'm with you on that one. I don't know how to answer this question easily, but how will Epcot use the new Communicore area when it's all the fest? Is it just going to be more festival stuff and more music, and that's it? Or are they going to do something different with it?
I think it's mostly that. I think they'll have, the occasional characters coming by and things like that, but it'll mostly be kind of festival hangout area.
Just an extension of the World Showcase.
Yeah.
Right? All right. Do you predict that we'll see a major shift in traffic because of this once World Celebration is fully complete? Is this going to be a major pull from World Showcase?
Oh, from World Showcase. No, I don't think a major pull, but it just becomes more complimentary.
I think it will. I think once they start getting some new, like they'll have a band playing in the American Pavilion, and then there'll be a band playing up here when it's not a full on like Festival of the Holidays type of thing. I think there'll be crowds in both places, or pushed more in that direction of the park. Animal Kingdom. Do you think we'll see shovels hitting grounds in 2024?
Yes, that's where I'm being optimistic.
I'm going to agree with you. I have to agree with you.
If there's no shovels hitting the ground, Animal Kingdom, we might lose it.
Any nighttime shows, events, parades, anything in Animal Kingdom. It could be the smallest thing, but a nighttime specific event or evening specific event.
Again, I'll be optimistic and say yes. I think they have that whole lake. They got to do something with it, and they want to get people in there staying later. They'll try something.
I'm going to say no, but I think we'll get announcements or teasers for it, but it won't be until 2025.
Okay.
That's my guess. Hollywood Studios, is Jollywood coming back next year?
No.
I think it will come back, but it'll be vastly different. Any major changes in the park in 2024? I think we could both see
no
that one, right? Will there be a Halloween party in 2024 in Hollywood Studios?
No.
I want to say yes to this, but there's no way they're going to do this. Will rides be more reliable in 2024?
No.
Or will this stay the same?
Same.
So sad.
I know
that we're saying this. Okay, so some D23 predictions, because this is going to be the biggest D23. You're going to be there. We have all new facilities for this. They're going crazy strong with the whole show. So I'm gonna do some rapid fire stuff here. Phil, will we be blue skied again for a third year in a row, or will we get definitive announcements?
I think there'll be both, but we will get some definitive. I think Animal Kingdom will be like shovels are in the ground tomorrow, guys, type thing. But Magic Kingdom will still be blue skyish.
So you think we're gonna get a split?
Yeah. Okay.
I want to say yes. We're going to get definitive announcements. I think we're going to get definitely for Animal Kingdom. I don't think we'll get Blue Sky for Magic Kingdom. I think we'll get some promises. Maybe we'll get like a theme, but maybe not announcing like rides and details, whatever. But like they're going to say it will be Villains Land coming in 2026.
Okay, so you're more than me. My thing is more blue sky. That definitely no time frame or anything like that. But
okay, well, I don't want to say that there's going to be a time frame. Let's say, but like it's like right now, like Villains Land is because it was Villains. Maybe it was Encanto. Maybe it was whatever. Right? They had like some ambiguous stuff. I think the direction they're going beyond Big Thunder Mountain will be like definitive. It'll be like we're doing Villains, but you don't know anything about it just yet. I think it'll be definitive the direction that they're going. So are we going to get any parks announcements that are new prior to D23, or are they saving everything?
No, we're definitely going to get some new stuff before it, and then they'll get into the details at D23.
I agree because I think they're going to try to drum up the hype for D23, learning more. But you're saying it's hype only, right? And it's not like other.
No, it could be more than that. It could be this is what we're doing in Animal Kingdom, and we're going to start work in October or something, and then we'll see like the model at D23 or something like that.
So you think we might get like Animal Kingdom, like in?
I think it could be that level beforehand.
Year. Yeah. I tend to agree with that. I don't think they're going to be resting on their laurels for another 9 months or whatever it is. Will the new vision for Animal Kingdom be the Encanto in the Indiana Jones? Will it stick with that, or is it going to change for a third iteration?
I think it'll be more like that than different. Like I think they're definitely going to stick to like the South America equatorial theme.
Okay.
And I think Encanto is definitely going to be part of it. I'm less confident about Indy, but I think it's going to be more or less like this plan.
I think I know they want to get Encanto in the parks. I think they're going to do Encanto. I definitely don't think they're going to do Indy. I think there's going to be something else that's kind of being put in that footprint. Do you think we kind of preface this at the beginning part. You don't think anything's going to be announced for
Nothing concrete. No, it'll be more blue skyish. It'll be more, this is the journey we're taking you on. We're still working on it. That sort of thing.
I think some details will be announced. Will Animal Kingdom be just Dino Land and their replacement, or will we have at least Blue Sky? Let's say, let me ask you the question first. Will we get any other announcements for additional capacity at Animal Kingdom at D23?
God, I hope so. I'll be optimistic and say yes, but that'll probably be like a phase 2 Blue Skyish. But there will be we're doing something else at Animal Kingdom.
It's going to be yes and Blue Sky, but not yes, and here's our plans or ideas. It's got to be. It's a Blue Sky phase 2.
Yes, they will commit to we are doing more to Animal Kingdom beyond Dinoland, but the details of it will be Blue Sky.
I agree with you on that. Any nighttime or parade additions through the whole property? Are we going to get parade or nighttime?
Yes, we're definitely getting a new parade, probably replacement for Festival of Fantasy or something like that.
I just had you predicting my name. I don't know why I wrote my name on my face. Yes, I'm just going to put yes also. And you specifically said Festival of Fantasy.
Yeah, I'm still not convinced we'll ever get a nighttime parade, but I think they're going to change up Festival.
I don't think so either. They have too many people in Magic Kingdom as it is at night. Any new hotel announcements, yes or no?
Probably. I mean, is that including DVC?
Yes. Any new
Yeah, there'll be something.
Property.
I think they might go back and restart Reflections or something like that.
I don't think they will announce anything. You said yes, and it'll be like Reflections type of thing. That's actually probably a good answer, but I'm going to say no. Any kind of surprise announcements you want to try to guess about coming up?
I think
D23.
Maybe this is just me being optimistic again, but I think they'll do something with transportation, such as expanding more with Skyliner.
Skyliner announcement. You and Matt are best friends with this one. I don't surprise announcements. I think the surprise announcement is going to be MDE's coming back. That's going to be the transportation ones.
Look at that.
This is a stupid question. I'm not going to ask it and record it. I'm just going to delete it. I was going to ask are fans going to be feel more positive after this event? I'm going to say they are absolutely going to be more positive after this event because this is a big one. They're going strong with this one.
They better be.
They're renting out arenas and all this other stuff. They got something planned. All right. So on the subject of discounts, these are pretty simple. Phil, will free dining come back?
Yes.
I agree that they love them some free dining. Will there be free Genie Plus discounts or offers?
I don't think so. I say no.
No, I think they will, but it'll be limited. It'll be like buy a 4-day park ticket, get 4 Genie Plus, but it won't work on a 3-day ticket. It won't work on a 5-day ticket. It's a 4-day ticket type of thing. And you probably have to buy hoppers and you have to buy the most expensive Genie Plus, but it'll be mixed in. Like they will use that as an enticement to book.
If I was them, I definitely would. I would make it as part of a package, like you said, where it's kind of more buried in the cost.
Yep.
But I don't think they will.
Will we see discounts for moderates up to the level of 30%?
Yeah, I think so.
So continue doing that. I agree with you. I think they're going to continue that until they don't need to do it anymore and the soft bookings ends. Are we going to see any new ticket deals similar to the kids are 50% off with the purchase of the dining plan?
I think so. I think they're going to try to get people to come in and enjoy more time. I don't know if they'll get to the buy 5 days, get 2 days free or something like that. I don't know. But there'll be something.
Yeah, I definitely think there's going to be something because I think the numbers are going to come out where they are. And I think they want to get a big boost of numbers this year because they're going to lose a lot of numbers in 2025 if Epic Universes remains on track. So I think they're going to want to goose those numbers before they lose a bunch in that year because they know they're going to lose a lot, but they want a big number before that low number. I think so. They're going to try to get attendance going strong. will we see continue of the large? This is kind of hand in hand with the last one. An inventory of discounted rooms, because if you remember, there's some really great discounts back in 2019, 2018, but there were few rooms. So like they discounted 200 rooms for this offer. Now they're discounting like 1,000 rooms for the offer.
It'll be at least like this year. Yeah.
Yep. I agree with you. I don't think that changes until it doesn't change anymore. Will we see discounts of an MDE, Magical Express type of service, whether it's like free minivan or maybe it's not a bus, but transportation offered in a discount from the airport?
No.
I don't think so either. Nothing's going to be offered. Okay, hotels. Will the new Poly Tower be open next year?
Yes.
And how do you think people are going to respond to that?
I think it'll be
positive or negative.
I grudgingly positive. Like I think people want to not like it, but when they actually get in there, they'll be like, "All right, this is kind of cool."
So I spelled grudgingly right. I did. No one spell checked me. Okay, last section. We're already about 10 minutes over on this show. The question is section is corporate, just basically corporate in general. Will there be a new CEO announcement this year, or will there be more executive hired that would be like, oh, he could be or she could be the next CEO?
I think more the latter. They'll bring in more experienced executives that there will be speculation they could be the next CEO, but nothing formal.
Let's say they don't hire anybody, but will there be a more intense speculation, at least by this time next year, who the next CEO will be?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
But nothing official.
Nothing official. But nothing official. All right, I'm just going to put here same so we remember that. Any major shakeups on the Walt Disney Company's assets being sold off? Like not specifically selling ESPN or ABC, but like major divisions changing the shape of the company. Like
I don't think
maybe like a linear TV type of.
I don't think anything big like some of that speculation about linear TV. I don't think so. There might be some like reorg and stuff like that, and they sell off small parts, but nothing big.
I don't think there's going to be big changes this year, but I think we'll start seeing maybe a paring down of like the Disney Junior type stuff. Where that once the Hulu and Disney Plus stuff like are fully merged in one package, you'll see all those productions that show up on those channels first are going to be pulled back and put under the Disney Plus umbrella.
Yeah.
I think. I don't think that's a major shake.
No,
I think that's the direction.
There'll be reorgs, stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. Will we see any major shakeups on some of the other studios like Lucasfilm, Pixar, Disney Animation, or Marvel?
I think I wouldn't be surprised if Kathleen Kennedy is gone.
Kennedy may be gone.
And there's always stuff at Pixar and stuff with people moving in and out, but not like they're firing people and stuff like that. It might just be a natural attrition type thing, but.
Yeah, I think Lucasfilm, I don't know how that studio doesn't survive without some major shakeups with a lot of things going wrong with some of those franchises. And I don't really want to start getting... See, I bring up Star Wars, and now I start wanting to go on a tirade again. And I won't do it. Will the Disney Plus stock... I don't know. It's in like the low 90s currently as of last week. Do you think it's going to be consistently over 100 next year?
Ooh, consistently over.
Or do you think what do you think it's going to be? Is it going to be like roughly it's going to bounce? It's going to stay right around.
It's going to be. I think it'll be up. And I think on average it'll be around 100, maybe a little more. I'll say it'll be over 100.
Okay, but not too much over, right?
It's not going to be like 150 or something like that. Yeah. It'll be like 100, 105, something like that.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with you. I don't think it's going to go to the heights of that. I think the next time, the only way Disney stock can skyrocket is if every single movie they put out next year is like 3/4 of what happened in 2019 with all those $1 billion movies. Just
with that, and then somehow they're able to spin that and Disney Plus is making money or something like that.
Disney Plus is making money. New CEO is announced and everybody loves him. All the movies are raking in cash. That's the perfect storm where it can spike up to like 130 or something else.
Yeah, I mean, and maybe that news happens and it spikes to like 120, 130, but I don't think it'll consistently be there.
Maybe
but I think it'll be consistently over 100.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. And that will do it for our 2024 predictions. Put this one in the vault, and then we'll talk about it in a year from now. My goodness. Okay, so we had a lot of good stories from the Discord community. Phil, anything you want to bring out, because we're now over time?
Yeah, I was thinking maybe we could save some of this for the next show. Okay,
we'll save this because I will remember to put this on the engagement question. I forgot to do it this week. So we're going to read everybody's stories from 2023, things that they really liked from Disney. But we want everybody, this is the DBC engagement for this week. What are your predictions for 2024? They could be everything, anything. It doesn't have to be parks related. It could be about the movies. It could be about who the next CEO is. Anything that we just talked about. Like, what are your top 3 predictions? I guess maybe we do a top 3 predictions for 2024. And I want to go with bold predictions, right?
Yeah.
Don't be silly like Matt does. Like there's going to be an 8th gate being built in the next 3 years or anything else like that. Like good, bold takes, but within the realm of, reality, right? Like we're not asking for crazy things, but something that you think could happen. And I don't know, we'll rate them. Maybe we'll have a competition. Maybe we'll do like a gift card competition of like whoever had by this time next year, whoever hits like the craziest hot take. But we have to vote for everybody's craziest hot take, and maybe we'll do something like that as a competition. We've never done one of those before. That might be fun. Anything else, Phil, before we sign off for this week?
I think that's good. Just I guess we'll be back on Thursday. I was going to say I want to wish you a good trip, but I wish Matt a good trip because Matt's there now. And then looking forward to Thursday and getting there.
Yeah, me too. Appreciate that. Yes, we'll be talking. There'll be an episode coming up while I'm at Disney World. Hopefully we get to it, unless I'm scrambling on a Thursday night for something, which I probably will be. But it'll be a short show. Anyway, thank you for watching and listening, everybody. And take care, and we'll see you next time.
Take care, everyone.